You know what? I thought I wanted to try the new style of the review video. Here are some lenses that are great for traveling situation, like those. I live in Japan, Yamanashi, near the Mount Fuji, which is a famous traveling area with an astonishing video and photo spot. So why don't I go around this area and show you how it actually feels and how those lenses can capture. So the lens review through the Mount Fuji travel. That sounds good. So let's pack and travel and shoot. Now I'm at the Lake Kawaguchi, which is really famous and a popular spot that you want to definitely come when you're visiting Japan. So I'm going to show you the major and the minor spots that are great for shooting photos and videos. But first, let me introduce today's lenses. There are 3 lenses and 3 categories. The price, priority, Sony 28 to 60mm, and budget and quality, Sony 24 to 40mm, and quality first lens, Sony 24-50 G 2.8 lens. So I'm gonna explore this Lake Kawaguchi area and use those lenses at each spot to see their performance. Let's start the journey. Okay, this is it. This is Lake Kawaguchi station. You can take the train from Shinjuku, Tokyo to here. It's about 2 hours. So this will be your first spot. You can eat, shop, and there is a famous Japanese noodle store right there. You definitely want to try that. And also there is a place where you can rent a bike. It is a major option for moving around this area. All right, first spot. This is the Oike Park. This is the closest big spot from the station. You just can chill and resting your body and looking at this amazing view. And this is our first lens, Sony 28 to 60mm. You know what? 28mm is enough to capture this wide view, and it goes up to 60mm, which produces the amazing tight image. So this spot is really great for shooting videos and photos. There's a foreground of this rock and lake and the mountain at the far. So you can mix those to create a great composition. And when this 60mm is working super well. So you see that bridge? That's a very good photo spot. Let's go there. So from this top of the bridge, you can see the whole park. The Oike Park and Mount Fuji. Actually, today is cloudy, but when it's sunny, there is a Mount Fuji. So, hope your day will be sunny. So, the Lake Kawaguchi is huge, but I actually like the north side because you can see the Mount Fuji and the lake at the same time. Oh, by the way, right now I'm shooting this on Sony a7C II and 28 60mm. Since this is Sony's native lens, this got an amazing autofocus and IES performance. And this is a huge attraction of this lens. It is small and light. Come on, look at this. Just 167 grams. It's absolutely perfect for the casual Radagan style shooting. So this is a budget compact casual lens. You can find a second-hand by like at $600. But the quality is not casual. I wouldn't say it's the same as $1,000 lens, but as you can see the footages, it shoots pretty well. Not too sharp, not too soft. I think this is very easy to use in many situations. I got some photos of Sony 28 70mm kit lens right here, but the overall style is very close. What's most important is this makes you shoot a lot since it's very small. This lets you to forget about the sense of beauty, like I gotta good to take good photos and videos. This casual and simple design lets you to enjoy both of traveling and shooting. I believe your SD card will be full immediately. This gives you a great motivation for shooting. In fact, mine is full. I gotta back up those, and I want my editor to start start editing those footages I got today already. What am I gonna do? I have 136 terabytes no matter where I'm at. Where is it? In my studio. This is the perfect data solution for people who travel and shoot a lot. Ugreen NASync DXP 4800 Plus. Okay, before you lose the motivation for this, I'm gonna quickly show you what this can capable of. It is a hard drive that can store up to 136 terabytes, but it's not just a normal hard drive, it is also your personal cloud storage without subscription. And you or your family, coworker, everyone you choose can access to it from anywhere. And this is about $500. No way. Yes way. This is NAS. What's NAS? NAS is basically the storage device like hard drive, but NAS can be connected to the network such as Wi-Fi and multiple devices such as computer, tablet, and smartphone in the same network can access to it without being connected by cable physically, while normal HDD needs it. And when it comes to this product, this got a remote access function that allows you to access to NAS even when you are out of the network that NAS is connected. So NAS sounds a little complicated. Well, it used to be with a ordinary NAS, but this Ugreen NAS is super easy and simple for everyone. You can set up the basic stuff by just following instructions of smartphone app, insert hard drive in NAS, connect it to Wi-Fi by cable, and do some setting in app, and done. And this NAS has the Intel OS inside. The usability is super great. This is the first time for me to use NAS, but there was no problem. So this has 1250 Mbps transferring speed at max. I did a test so that you can feel it. I uploaded about 10 GB file to both of my NAS and Google Drive. My Wi-Fi system is not that strong. I think mine can do like a 1250 Mbps speed. Still, NAS was 2 times faster than Google Drive. So for me, this remote access is the lifesaver. Game changer. I said your devices can be connected to the NAS in the same Wi-Fi with NAS, but you can access to it from outside of this local network by using a remote access function. Let me show you how it's done. First, I will just open the app. That's it. Okay, even if you don't use the app, there's your personal link. So copy it and paste it on Google. Just log in. Then you can access to the data in NAS from anywhere you want. Also, you can create the account for people who you want to give access to. You can decide what file the account can see. Also, there's another useful feature, Smart Photo Management. NAS automatically recognizes faces, objects, and locations, so you don't have to spend a lot of time on scrolling album. NAS will sort photos by an object recognition. Also, you can find photos by searching with a description. This DXP 4800 Plus can work as the physical data transferring machine. You can directly connect your SD card or SSD to NAS for data transferring, and it can output 4K video. And this is important. It's secured and quiet. Cooling fan system is working amazingly, but super quiet, and you don't have to worry about the dust. Also, you can monitor the health status of NAS by app. And this is important too. It looks cool. This is a game changer. Not only for creators, but also everybody. Just think about you can get a personal cloud storage without subscription. Yes, you have to spend some money first, but you're gonna produce tons of data as long as you keep living. And each time you buy an extra space of that cloud storage, and that subscription goes forever. Just do the math. You can use this for your work, for your family, for your friends, and for yourself. You can have old memories in your hand all the time, no matter where you go. You can back up your valuable memories anytime, anywhere. Today, I couldn't cover all features of this DXP 4800 Plus. I'm gonna paste the link below, so just go check it out to know more. You don't have to decide now, but I just want you to remember what I showed you today for when you are on the fence buying extra space for your cloud storage, or when you are out of the data space. NAS is like. Now I'm at the north side, about 20 minutes away from OEK Park with the bike. So this is Nagasaki Park, where you can see the whole Mount Fuji with this dynamic wide view. And here I got the 24 to 240mm lens in a category with budget and quality. So this is about like a $600 or $700, but instead of it, you can get 24mm wide lens, which is perfect for this view, this fast dynamic view, and it goes up to 240mm. It is more than enough.
Look at this beautiful mess I made. When the enemy is at your door, you better hold that line.
So this is another park, Oishi Park. This got a cafe and a restaurant, so you can have a relaxing and chill time, and also another face of landscape. Obviously, there's a great foreground of those, greens, and in the background, Mount Fuji, and there's a lake between them. So you can capture all of those by 24mm in one frame, and also you can, have a compression feel by using the telephoto side of this lens. So let me quickly introduce another famous spot. This is the Sengen Shrine, which was built for suppressing the eruption of Mount Fuji in a religious way in 865. There is a tremendously thick and tall tree and different atmosphere from outside the world of this shrine. If you want to feel the traditional Japanese air, this place is must-go-to spot. And there is a Tenku no Tori on the top of the hill of Sengen Shrine. When it's sunny, you can see both of Tori and Mount Fuji at the same time, which creates the unbelievable, unrealistic view, if you will. This is perfect for telephoto compression image such as this. If you can have an opportunity for sunny day shooting, oh man, you must come here with some telephoto lens. So I didn't know such this lens existed, 24 to 240mm. This is a little old lens, like a 2015, but still it's pretty usable. It doesn't produce a crazy detail level image, but instead of it, this got from 24 to 240mm super versatility. It is pretty much like a 24-70mm lens size. Definitely this is bigger than 28-60mm, but this all-in-one capability is just crazy. But in my opinion, like 240mm is a little too much for traveling. I just felt bad from this Lake Kawaguchi travel, but definitely it's good to have for some scenarios. This versatility is crazy. It's one of a kind, especially if you are a telephoto lover. This lens is great for you. So another place, another lens. Now I got 24-50mm G lens. Right now we are at another Sengen Park. There's a peaceful vibe, but you gotta handle this steep stairs first. I think you have seen this view at least once if you are interested in Japan. This is a famous viewpoint. I live around here. I am Japanese, but even to me, I just, I felt it was amazing. It's peaceful, but it got this energy. And this 24-50mm G lens captures it perfectly. The detail and texture of buildings, trees, and mountains are depicted super well. It's a G lens quality. I think this is pretty close to the Sony 20mm f1.8 G lens size, but 24 to 50mm and 2.8. I gotta say, if you want to have both amazing image quality and mobility, this is the best choice. It is $1,000 lens. Yes, I know it's expensive, but totally worth it. It's more than the price. I mean, it could have been like $2,000 lens. When you pair this some compact camera such as A7C II or ZV-E1, the balance is so good, and the image is Sony G lens quality. This can handle the everyday photo, video to, some filmmaking situation. But one thing I don't like about this lens is the starting default position is 50mm, and when you go up to 24mm, the lens extends like this. I want to start from 24mm at smallest size, the shortest size. That's annoying, but yeah, I think I gotta forget about that for this price and quality. And this lens is new and native lens. Of course, it's a perfect choice to draw the maximum autofocus and IS potential from Sony cameras. Alright, so we can't end without Mount Fuji. So this is the Mount Fuji 5th station. It's gonna be the major point when you hike Mount Fuji. Obviously, that's it. That's a vast, dynamic Mount Fuji. So I've been showing you the attraction and uniqueness of each lens, but simply right here, we're gonna compare those side by side. Okay, this is it. I hope you enjoy it. When it comes to the camera gear for travel situation, you might think like the lightweight, small size. This is the #1 priority. I actually don't recommend it. After experiencing a lot of gears in a lot of situations, I finally reached to the one answer. That is, what's most important is the balance of satisfaction and functionality. Satisfaction means like a design, image quality, and the beauty of the product. Functionality goes like size, weight, and usability, mobility. If you pursue the functionality too much, I think you're gonna get bored with it someday. You're gonna have the special time when you're traveling. I wanted to feel the same thing for the gear. I wanted to feel the satisfaction when you hold the camera, the lens. But if you pursue the satisfaction too much, that will slow you down. And eventually you get less time with it. I experienced it many times. So lenses that I showed you today, they all are fantastic and unique products. What did you like the best? Let me know in the comment below. And also, how was the Mount Fuji Lake Kawaguchi trip? What part of Japan do you want to see? Also, comment below. Okay, this is it. If you have any questions, just shoot me anytime, anywhere. And if you like this video, show me a thumb and hit the subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao.